Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Sunshine Squirrel here for another video, and today we're going to be talking all about Galaxy's Edge. And today we're really going to be focusing on talking about, is Galaxy's Edge worth all the hype? Is it worth you going and taking time out and visiting it? I'm going to talk about kind of the things that I liked about Galaxy's Edge when I visited, things that I didn't like, and some things that I think need to be improved. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about are the things that we absolutely loved about Galaxy's Edge. So the first thing that I'm going to say is that this park, or this land rather, is the absolute in theming. This land is probably, I would say, not even probably, I'm going to say is the best theming in the entire Walt Disney World property out of all four of the parks. As one cast member told us, from your feet all the way up to the sky, you are going to feel like you are a part of a Star Wars story. And this is something that is actually pretty cool about the land. I missed it, but a cast member actually told us after we visited that the planet that you're visiting, Planet Batuu, is supposed to be a planet that has 2 suns and 2 moons. And the cast member told us that if you look up in the sky, you can actually see 2 suns during the day and 2 moons at night. So let me know in the comments below if you've gone to Galaxy's Edge and if you've seen that, and send me a picture because I really want to see what that looks like. But as you can just see, even just from walking around the land, from the cast members to the buildings to the streets, you are really going to feel like you are in a Star Wars movie. And at the Millennial Falcon ride, Disney even goes even farther and has even their smeltzers or smeltitizers. I'm not sure what they're called, but it's basically Disney pumps in scents into the different restaurants, into the different parks, into the different hotels to make you feel like you're a part of the story and that you're experiencing what's around you even more. And in the Millennial Falcon Smuggler's Run attraction, you're supposed to feel like you're in a mechanic's garage, and it really does smell like a mechanic garage. You have a musty kind of motor smell. And another thing that really goes along with the theming of this land is that all of the cast members, all of their uniforms, or rather costumes in this land, are so on point. They look exactly like they came right out of a Star Wars movie as well. And when you interact with the cast members, they are going to stay in character. My sister actually asked one of the cast members where we could find a certain shirt that we were looking to buy, and she told us that she wasn't sure what type of clothing that was, but she's heard on another planet there's a place known as Star Tours where other travelers have gotten that sort of merchandise. So even when you interact with the cast members, they are going to stay in character, and I think that just adds to the land even more. And while we're talking about cast members, another great part of this land is that throughout the day you can catch different characters from the Star Wars movies walking around. So you may get a chance to interact with a stormtrooper, Kylo Ren, Rey. It just really depends, and Disney doesn't say when these characters are going to be out. They just are out and they're walking around. We even saw a cast member who was dressed up in a costume, and they were trying to run away from the stormtroopers, and the stormtroopers were trying to find this particular character, actor, if you will. So another thing that we loved about this land was also that they had different experiences that the guests could participate in, and one of those was building your own droid. It is pretty pricey though. It's going to be around $200 to build your own droid, but I thought that this was something that was really unique and something that you can really only do in Galaxy's Edge. Another thing that we loved about this land, or planet if you will, is the current attraction, Millennial Falcon Smuggler's Run. Now, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is going to end up having 2 attractions, and they're going to have a second one that's going to be more of a cinematic adventure. Our family's thinking that it's probably going to be something around the line of Star Tours. But the Millennium Falcon ride, I think, and I think most people would agree with me, is the best attraction at the Walt Disney World property right now. And there are a couple reasons for this. Number one, the queue for this ride, as one cast member talked with us about, is the best queue. You never once really feel like you're in line, and when you look around, you're not thinking to yourself, man, how long have I been standing in line? There's so many different things to look at, see, and experience. And throughout this land, Disney has created a sort of language. It's supposed to, I guess, be like the language of this planet, and they have it written over all throughout the different stores and even throughout this attraction. And it actually is kind of fun, and I think it would be something even fun for the kids, that using your Galaxy's Edge map, you can actually decode secret messages that are written throughout the walls of the attraction while you're waiting in the queue. This attraction also has a pre-show using an animatronic, and it looks so lifelike that when we first saw it, I actually thought it was a real person at first. But from the queue to the ride itself, there's really nothing like this ride. And this ride, part of the reason it is so unique is, unlike any other Disney ride, it is interactive. You decide and you control how the ride goes, and you actually get to determine the length of the ride and how well or how badly the ride goes. And if you want an even more in-depth review of the ride and of the attraction, I'll put a link in the description bar below. I have another video where I go through the queue line so you guys can get an idea of what the queue line looks like. And then at the end of that video, I also talk about kind of the pros and cons of that ride, and for the different roles that you can have on that ride, which ones I recommend. And another thing that we loved about this land was all of the merch. Galaxy's Edge definitely is your go-to spot for all the different Star Wars merchandise you could ever dream of. If you are a huge Star Wars lover, you are going to basically be able to get everything that you dreamed of ever owning from the Star Wars movie. They have it all: memorabilia, magnets, water bottles, shirts, fake musical instruments, even full costumes. You can look like your favorite Jedi character from Star Wars from head to toe. And they even had some unique souvenirs and items that I haven't seen anywhere else, not in any of the parks, not on Disney's website, and never really before. So now that I've gone over all of the things that our family loved, I think it's only fair if I also tell you the things that we really didn't like and the things that we really feel like need to be improved. So Galaxy's Edge, each different attraction and the different buildings and things like that are widely spaced apart. But once you get to the individual attractions and you get to the different areas like the dining options and the shopping options, everything feels really, really tight and really, really close together. Now keep in mind that when my family went, we went during an annual pass holder preview day, and we still felt like it was crowded when that was a select number of people that were allowed to be in that area during a certain time period. And so when I was down at Galaxy's Edge, I just kept thinking to myself, I can't imagine how this area is going to be once everyone is permitted to go in and once the general population is down in this area. So I really think that this area is probably going to be really, really tight, and it's going to feel pretty uncomfortable. So if you're someone that doesn't like to be really close to other people, or you don't really like feeling like you're in tight spaces, I would say to avoid this area when it first opens. There are particular areas within this land or planet that are really crowded, such as the marketplace, which is kind of your shopping hub, and the individual stores themselves inside, they're pretty tight. So like the store where you can build the droids, known as the Droid Depot. A cast member joked with us that because it's a planet with 2 suns, that's why it felt so hot, but honestly, this land is one of the hottest areas. It reminded me very much of Toy Story land, and Toy Story land is also another very hot location with very little air conditioning. The only air conditioning you're going to find is in the one quick service option in the Droid Depot and the other store, the antique shop, in addition to the restrooms. But the marketplace and most of the other areas and experiences of this land are not air conditioned, which makes it kind of difficult to enjoy the land. And once again, with the area feeling really crowded and tight when you're in the stores and you're at the different attractions and experiences, not having air conditioning kind of makes that tightness and that crowdedness even worse. So if you're someone that doesn't do well with heat, or someone in your party is not good in areas that are tight and really hot, I would not recommend visiting Galaxy's Edge during the day. I would recommend visiting really early in the morning or later in the evening or at nighttime once the sun has gone down. So overall, is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge worth all the hype? I would say that this land is the most impressive land that you can visit currently. Whether you are a Star Wars fan to the max, or whether you have never seen a Star Wars movie, you know absolutely nothing about the Star Wars universe, you are going to still love this place. You're going to feel like you're a part of a movie. Some tips that I would give to really max your time in this park is to just wait till after the hype dies down a little bit and you can enjoy yourself and walk around in this park. One cast member told us that Hollywood Studios is currently the 4th most popular park, and once Galaxy's Edge is open to everyone, it is going to move to be the most popular theme park, even out competing Magic Kingdom, if you can believe that. So I would say don't rush down to see Galaxy's Edge as soon as it opens. Wait till some of the hype has died down. The second attraction isn't even open yet. It's not going to be open till December. So then there's going to be a second wave of tons of people wanting to be there to ride the second attraction. And the Star Wars Hotel is also supposed to open in 2020 as well, which is going to cause even more hype. And as I talked about earlier, because there is very little air conditioning, I would really recommend that you visit the park either early in the morning or in the evening or at nighttime, where you won't be as overcome with the heat, especially if you're going to be visiting Florida during the hotter times of the year, such as the summertime. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and let me know in the comments below if you guys agree with the things that I liked, if you didn't agree with the things that I liked or didn't agree with the things that I also came to the conclusion of. These are just kind of the thoughts that my family and I had going through Galaxy's Edge, but I want to hear what you guys thought, and I want to hear what the things that you think were great or the things that you think need to be improved. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed content like this, and I will see you guys later. Bye!